So a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video about estimating biological sex from a skeleton. Can we do it? How do we do it? And I got a lot of responses across the various platforms. And one of the most common comments was, just look at the pelvis, look at the pelvis. So let's talk through that. When we have a relatively well-preserved skeleton, especially the pelvic bones, we can often estimate biological sex with a high degree of accuracy. Some researchers assert actually 96%. And this is something that bioarchaeologists and forensic anthropologists do regularly and responsibly. But even though biological sex estimation is often reliable, the traits that we use to estimate biological sex, like the ones in the pelvic bones, exist on a spectrum. So to illustrate this, we're going to take a look at the greater sciatic notch. So in case you are not familiar, these are the pelvic bones, and this little slot right here is what we would call the greater sciatic notch. And I think that that's what people were saying when they're like, just look at the pelvis. We have this idea that it's really simple. Men have sort of a narrow pelvis or a narrow notch, and then females have a wide notch. And that is absolutely true. Wider notches tend to be associated with females and narrow ones tend to be associated with males. But there is very significant variation. So this diagram from the British Association of Biological Anthropologists and Osteoarchaeologists shows this graded scale that we use. So 1 female, 2 probable female, 3 indeterminate, 4 probable male, and 5 male. But in between these 5 shapes, these 5 different morphologies, there are countless variations. Thousands of variations, in fact, shapes and angles and widths that really don't fit into one category or another. And that is just because humans are just that different. And that's just one feature, one trait. I mean, there are dozens and dozens of traits. So biological sex estimation isn't really about assigning male or female like a binary switch. It's about assessing patterns across many traits, and most importantly, the pelvic bones, for sure. That's weighted when we look at estimating biological sex. And then when needed, we can look at the skull as well. And then we interpret those traits in combination. Most of the time, we can estimate biological sex with confidence, but that does not actually mean that the body is inherently binary in its physical expression. There are patterns, but there's also overlap, and variation is the rule. It's not the exception. My name is Katie. I'm an archaeologist. Follow me for more archaeological content and historical musings.